Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'm going to be doing a quick discussion about the Kokomi banner that's going to be dropping in a few days from now for part 2 of version 2.5, this version 2.5 patch. So I just released a video talking about the Raiden Shogun Rerun Banner, which is also at the same time as Kokomi. So this one is just going to be about Kokomi. If you've already watched that one, to save you the time about the 3 4-star characters, I won't go into them as much detail here. But if you are interested, those 3 4-star characters, Bennett, Shinyan, and Kujo Sara, I've already done actual in-depth reviews of each character previously, and those videos are still they still stand. They haven't changed because I have not really changed their builds as much. If anything, I've just taken off some weapons, for example, from Kujo Sara, etc., and taken away from some of her artifact pieces. But that doesn't mean that that's like the current way that I'm using her is the way that it should be. But that previous review still stands. Let's put it that way. So anyway, make sure that you guys are subscribed, hit the like button and thumbs up for this video. It would really help, and feel free to leave comments and questions for me in the video description as well. So let's get to it. So this video will focus more on Kokomi. Is she a must-pull character? No. That remains, although I have warmed up to her and have liked using her a little bit more now and even leveled her up a little bit more, but I still don't think that she's a must-pull character. The reason why is there are other healers and support characters in the game that can fulfill her role, so I don't think she's a must-pull character. Yes, and then this is my build for her, so it's not like the best, but I did obviously rebuild her right before this patch launched when I was doing the rerun review video, so do check that out, and that's the most updated one for her. I still kept her with the Thrilling Tales. I did not bother crafting the prototype Amber for her because I don't need her to do any attack. I just need her to heal, so hence she's not, at least for me, not a must-pull character. But I will say that the Oathsworn Eye, which I've done videos for recently, previous to this patch or during the pre-release analysis for this patch, is an amazing weapon that would work well for her. Similarly, I've seen other people use the Hakushin ring on her, which is a craftable, and it's also good for her too. If you want to give her some attack, basically, she will be okay with the Dodoko Tails for those of you who have this. But it's not like a must-have. I think that the Oathsworn Eye is more universal, actually. You just avoid the Lost Prayers and the Solar Pearl and any of the crit rate or crit damage related ones, because she doesn't benefit from that at all. Elemental Mastery is okay, but it's not her best. So I would skip this and the Mapamera as well, and the Witsith you can skip as well. And Favonius is like a universal because it has energy recharge as a substat, but then the passive requires crit hits to get more energy, and she can't crit. Or she can crit, but like it's not like you're going to build her that way. So it's kind of pointless. And then the Frostbearer, only for the people that have this, which many people don't, then this could give her more attack. But again, not I would say most people are not building her for attack. So having her have Thrilling Tales is okay, just to swap out and give a bonus to the next character instead. Because your real goal, if you have her, is to swap her in just to heal and then swap her out. Attack, artifacts, I mean. So here, basically, yes, the Ocean Hued Clam, her clam set is like her best in slot, and I recommend only this. But of course, if you don't want to farm for this, because you didn't go for the defense domain, because you didn't want to build any of the Geo defense characters, that's okay. Then the other option is the Maiden set, because that set is still valid for her. It has healing as well, but this one just has some light physical actual attack aspect to it too. That's the only difference. Let me just quickly see if I can find a Maiden's piece, just so I can have it on the screen. So yeah, the Maiden's pieces, like it will have healing for the 2 pieces, the same bonus, and then the 4 piece, when using her skill or her burst, it'll increase healing. So it's just mostly healing focused. So that's not bad. Okay, constellation-wise, I don't recommend getting any constellations for her, but if you must, let's go through this list. I don't have any for her, and I'm not planning to get any. This one, so while donning her ceremonial garment, that's when her Q burst is on. The final normal attack will unleash, an extra little fish, basically, that deals an extra 30% of her max HP as hydro damage. This is not a must, but it is extra damage. C2, basically, let's see. When she gains the following healing bonuses with regard to the characters with 50% or less HP, when either of these criteria is met. So it's not a big deal in my opinion. It's basically just healing. Let's just sum it up. This is +3 levels, and then this one is also for her Q. That one, and so basically it just increases her attack speed, and then her normal attacks will restore energy for her, etc. This one's plus 3 levels, and then this last one is also for her Q. When her normal and charge attacks heal or would heal any party member with 80% or more HP. So this just kind of removes the restriction for her to make her a better healer. So again, none of them are needed. Talent-wise, previously I didn't level these up. I left them at 666 because I wanted to save the La Senora pieces for other characters. But now that we're getting a new weekly boss, we have a new weekly boss already with Raiden Shogun's puppet. Then now the new characters will be using those pieces, so it's okay to have extra now. So I did spend a few here and made her E and her Q a little bit higher. Her normal attack does not need to go any further. You can leave this really low if you want. This is good for healing, obviously, and this is also healing, but it has some attack to it. This one is she will, yeah, basically the duration will be refreshed every time you bring out the jellyfish. This one, when she has her Q on, then she'll gain extra damage based on her max HP, and increase based on her 15% of her healing bonus. And then this one decreases her swimming consumption stamina, and then this one is just extra healing bonus. Yeah, so it's not a big deal, but I would say she's an okay character, and she definitely can support your team. But there are other healers in the game that you can definitely focus on, so she's not a must pull. Unlike Raiden Shogun, if you had to pick between the two, obviously go for Raiden Shogun. And if you had to pick between the current banner, which is Yaimiko, and Raiden Shogun, go for Raiden Shogun. That's all I would say. For the next 3 characters, I will do them really quickly because I already did them a little bit longer in the Raiden Shogun one, but also individually they have their own review video already. So for Bennett, he's a must-pull character or a must-have character. Again, we talked about this, but like he's good. He needs energy, and you would want him to have energy as high as possible so that he can proc his boost, his Q as often as possible. So that's why I gave him Skyward Blade. He's also good with Aquila Favonia. This one for a different reason, because then he would have higher base attack, which will help give you a base attack boost when he does his circle, his Q burst. And then like we've talked about other weapons too. Like you could give him crit and stuff, but it's not necessary. You should focus more on energy recharge, like the Festering Desire. Favonius is okay as a placeholder. Sacrificial if you must, but it's not his best. And the Amanoma also has a passive that's kind of energy related, so that's okay. Anything else, I wouldn't bother. I mean, some people have used Lion's Roar and stuff, but the point is not to use him for his own attack. It's just to use him to get energy quickly and to boost the other characters' attacks and to heal them. Noblesse, we've already talked about this, but basically, because he's an older character, he's one of the original characters, so I have him on a 4-piece Noblesse, but a 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate would be okay with him too. For Constellations, we're not going to go into the detail. Do not unlock C6 because that will decrease your ability to do elemental reactions for Pyro, but leave him at C5, yeah. And then for this one, priority is the Q here. If you must, then you could, if you like using him a little bit more, you can level this one up like myself, but actually this is not necessary at all. This one could be left at a really low level because he'll still proc like Pyro for whatever purpose if you need that Pyro to do, like for example, to do a reaction, and to get some energy back. That's all that I use this for. So really this has no damage potential in my opinion. So it's really just this one. Yeah. And then these things we talked about already, but yeah, he's just a great character to have overall. Okay, so moving on, Xinyan. She is not a beloved character, but she is not a horrible character. You can make her work. She has 2 kinds of builds. You can do her physical or pyro. Or you can do a hybrid. She will actually do fine with most of the claymores, except for the rain slasher and the white blind and the bell. All the other ones are fine with her, just honestly. Depending on how much you like her, you could give her a 5-star one or a 4-star one. She does not need a 4-piece Crimson because she doesn't proc that many reactions, so 2-piece is fine. You can also make her completely physical damage, that's okay too, which is, I have these old Bloodstain pieces, so I gave her a mixed artifact situation here. Constellation-wise, I do have her to C6. Again, I did do a review of her way back, and it's still valid to this day. If you have to prioritize her here, actually you should, because as a Claymore user, she's actually very universal. You should bring these up as high as possible if you like using her. So I left her at 777, but I could see her being fine at 666 or 888. That's fine. If you really like her, then obviously bring her up as high as possible. I would not recommend crowning her in any case unless you really like her. So I would just leave it there for her. These passives are also okay, but yeah, they're not, like these two are especially, are okay, but they're not required. to really make her like shine because she's pretty good already as is, but like I know she's not that popular. Last but not least, Kujo Sara. Many people like her. I myself don't like her, but she is a good support character, especially for Electro teams. So as you may see, compared to her previous review video that I did for her, some of her stats are lower because I removed her weapon and I changed up some of her artifacts and gave them to other characters instead. She will be fine with most of the bows, I believe, except for the Rust because she doesn't do normal attacks. She could be a physical, I guess, if you wanted to put this on her. She's not good with the elemental mastery, actually. So I would skip the stringless and the wind bloom. Actually, then in that case, she's actually very limited. Sorry, I take that back. She needs energy, so probably the Hamayumi and the Favonius bow, those would be fine. And then maybe the sacrificial if you don't have those. And then I don't know, depending on if you want to give her like crit or not. I mean, if you don't use her for those reasons, there's no reason to give her any crit or attack based ones. And at one point I did give her the Amos bow, but I took it away from her as you can see. She doesn't have it anymore. Not that I use Amber, but Amber just plays holding it for me. So yeah, that's basically that in a nutshell. So she's actually really easy to build because she doesn't have many choices to give her, depending on how much you like or dislike her. Artifact wise, I gave away some of her pieces, so like but her best is Emblem of Severed Fate 4-piece, so just focus on that. That crit damage here is really just a placeholder. Again, I'm not using her, so she's just holding this on until I give it to somebody else. So yeah. And then constellations, I do have her at C6, and talent-wise, her normal attack can be skipped. Actually, I shouldn't even level this to 6. I should have just left it at level 1 or something. Her Q and her E are her main things that you need to level up, and then everything else is not bad, but it's not like she's a must-have character. I'll be honest, of the 4-star characters on the banner, I think only Bennett is good. Shinyan is doable, at least in my opinion. Shinyan is more useful, in my opinion, than her, because if you have Bennett already, you don't need her. Yeah. So anyway, I'll leave it there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. The next video, we'll be talking about the weapon banners and the reruns for Engulfing Lightning and for the Everlasting Moonglow. So stay tuned for that. And also, I did the Raiden Shogun one right before this, so check that out too if you're interested. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.